Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna
the
do
boys.
what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has.
is not, really? It is to me. Rise, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I had to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome.
But I had to put her on the side.
Welcome.
And worry about the boys.
Welcome. How is everybody doing tonight? It is great to be here. Good to see you. February 8th, 2023, 7:07 here on the West Coast. Awesome to be here. Awesome to see you. Got a great show for you tonight. It's going to be, I say it's going to be excellent. It's kind of sad. I know. There's a lot of people that say, well, you can't pity them. I get it. I understand. And it's not pity. It's not anything other than this. But what I wanted to share with you really fast was I had this plumber come out to my house the other day. I think it was yesterday. I got his number like on the black market. And he was the hardest person to get a hold of all time. But the problem is he's got the cheapest prices in town. The cheapest prices in town. So that's why you put up with him. Okay? That's why you put up with him, because he'll call you, he'll hang up on you, he'll tell you, hey, text me this or text me that or da-na-na-na, so on and so forth. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So anyway, we got a clog because where we live, like roots and stuff kind of get into the pipes, and over time it needs to be snaked, right? And I mean, this dude shows up in a service van. His back bumper is completely missing. His his shop, which is inside, is in complete disarray. All right. But is the cheapest in town. Yeah, I combed it. I mean, I got it cut a little bit, but I combed it, right? Anyway, this guy, I mean, what he was telling me, he's like, my help has called in. Like, you know, I'm just in a bad spot right now. And, no, my nephew, what? Well, that's actually funny. Yeah, I think he might have been around, but let me just tell you this, right? He was getting phone call after phone call after phone call and literally slamming down his shovel because we were getting to the dig out. He's slamming the shovel down. Bam. And he was just really frustrated. And along came Otis. And he eased his mind. This guy was on the verge of a mental breakdown. A mental breakdown. Okay. So he's getting ready to crawl under the house. And here comes Otis just trotting his little bare butt along. He walks over to the guy and I'm going, "Oh God, please don't get close to this guy. Please don't get close to this guy." Grammy B, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know I got a haircut and I took a shower. That's really everything different that I did. So anyway, Otis comes walking over to the guy and I'm like, "Oh God," because he's laying in the crawl space and I know Otis is just going to piss him off like he'd piss anybody else off. And the guy looks at him, he goes, "Is that a Frenchie?" And I said, "Yeah." So Otis starts to walk under the house with him and he says, "Oh, hey buddy." You go, "You don't want to go under there without your tools." You get him a little tool belt and a little hard hat. And it was, for the first time in the history of the world, this dog helped a situation. Unbelievable. He melted the guy's heart. The guy was like cool, calm, and collected after it. And then, but wait. He's crawling under the house. Otis goes under there with him, drops a deuce while the guy's under there, and he goes, "Oh my God, it stinks." And that's coming from a plumber. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I got some great stuff for you tonight. How's everybody doing? Check this out. Okay. So, yes, there is court tomorrow. And I fear the worst. What I mean by that is I do feel that this could possibly be the beginning of the end as far as the CPS case goes. Now, don't get all excited, everybody. I spoke to Dawn for like 3 minutes today. Candace wasn't very happy in the background. And he confirmed, yes, we do have CPS tomorrow. And I asked him specifically if it was about the gag order. And he was he basically, look, they're going to have to answer for the gag order. They're going to answer for the gag order. And they're also, but he doesn't, well, he claims he has no idea what's going to happen. He's just not sure. I heard that this has been going around today about their child support, and I just want to reiterate that I don't know. I have no clue. I don't think so. But I don't know. Did he cuss the whole time? No, not really. Not really. I didn't cuss the whole time, but when I was talking to him and I was trying to, I was asking him questions, and he seemed at first he seemed very open to talking. And then he kind of switched up to, I don't really feel like answering these questions, so on and so forth. And I said, well, that's totally fair enough. Like, that's, well, I don't know. How do you violate a gag order? Well, the best way to violate a gag order is to talk about something that you're not supposed to talk about when a judge tells you to shut up. Not go on the news and say that CPS is a corrupt organization and stole your children. That's not gonna fly. He was sober. No, he wasn't drunk or high. I don't think so. He didn't sound drunk or high. But as the conversation kind of went on, I just asked him a few questions, and because he did say, hey, why can't we just, make this about Summer? So I was willing to ask the questions about Summer. However, about halfway through, you could hear Candace in the background. She got upset. She said, my wife's really mad that I'm talking to you, so on and so forth. I said, yeah, no problem, man. But I said, let me ask you one more question. And so what he says is, I don't feel like answering these questions. It's not helping Summer. Well, I said, Don, isn't that your duty? And he says, not to you. I said, that's completely fair enough. But didn't you say that you turned to us for help? Didn't you turn to us for help? That's what you said, and you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Now, I think that he kind of understood what I meant when I said you cannot have it both ways. You want to have a conversation about Summer, so on and so forth. But here's the one thing, and I'm going to play this for you because it's very, very interesting. I don't know if anybody paid their child support. I have no clue. But check this out. The one of the big questions that people ask all the time is, when was the last time you spoke to law enforcement? And that is a question that had been going around for some time. And I was very, very curious to just ask them when the last time was. Now listen closely. It's a very short clip.
I just want.
Been to law enforcement in a month.
The question, when when did you talk to law enforcement last?
Been to law enforcement in a month.
Okay. So that would be Candace yelling in the background that she hadn't been to law enforcement in months. And for some reason, Don found that funny. I'm not really sure why, but he did. So that right there is, I mean, if you could take anything from just tonight's show, just that little sound bite tells me everything that I need to know about this case. Okay. You understand that? I haven't been to law enforcement in months. So I asked somebody else that had been in a similar, that is in a similar situation with Don and Candace. Not comparing the two, and it doesn't matter who it is. But I asked. I said, how long do you go without talking to law enforcement? And their answer was, we talk to them at least twice a week, or we have talked to them twice a week. I'm actually headed there right now.
I haven't been to law enforcement in a month.
I haven't been to law enforcement in months. Wow. Well, and to be honest with you, like, I don't really know what's so funny about that. Is that hilarious? That's good stuff. I haven't been to law enforcement in months. I don't know. I mean, I just don't see. I didn't see the humor. I didn't see what was so funny about it. And that was towards the end of that conversation. So didn't want to talk about summary, and fair enough, dude. Trust me, him not wanting to talk to me is totally not surprising and totally within his rights and totally probably the right move, although we were, being sort of friendly-ish, and then it really, it started to deteriorate fast, and I thought that if we talked off the air, because there are some things that I have been following up on. As you know, I've been working on this podcast for Summer's case, and I've just compiled a lot of things, and I wanted to know, hey, maybe we can just, if you want to participate in it, fine. If you want to have your voice heard, fine. So on and so forth. All right. I haven't been to law enforcement in months, but they can show up on YouTube channels every night, sometimes many. So that, but listen, that is right there. That is your answer. If anybody asks, when was the last time you've been to law enforcement? It's been months. Probably the last time Don was talked to law enforcement was the last time he was in jail. Okay. That was probably the last time. But that everything surrounding that was just odd.
I haven't been to law enforcement in a month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they don't like LE, but I would love, even if I was a career criminal and I didn't love law enforcement, it wouldn't make me not want to talk to them or check in with them. Folks, what you got to understand is that they have shared absolutely nothing with Don and Candace in this case. Nothing, not a thing, not one single shred of anything that they've found. The supposed foot castings. Don asked if he could see him. He was told no. They are not in the know when it comes to their child's case. What would that tell you? Now, I understand while you're investigating, it is proper to hold some stuff back. But there's no communication between law enforcement. That, to me, would seem like they are not cooperating. And tomorrow, it's coming to a head. They have violated the gag order. And it is not going to be good, because once they lose custody of the boys, and I don't know exactly if that is going to happen tomorrow, but I do think that is coming. Pure speculation. But I do think that is on its way. They could very well get arrested tomorrow, especially Dawn. I don't know if Candace is, I don't know how culpable Candace is of breaking the gag order. But I'm guessing that there's some culpability there. And once this happens, once it's official, Dawn and Candace, what do they have left? What do they have left? It tells me that would probably, I mean, a confession at this point is a long shot. At this point, once the boys are taken, they've lost everything except themselves. They've lost everything. And I just don't think that is going to be, it's not going to help Summer's case. Now, they need to be held responsible for the things that they do, but I just don't see them. They've been hanging on by a thread for a couple years now. They've been hanging on by a thread. And that thread tomorrow possibly snaps. And when that snaps, if you think that they were off the rails before, I think that it will be biblical. Now, it's an exaggeration, but Don likes to talk of the Bibles. And it is very, very concerning towards Summer's case. Now, what happens with the boys tomorrow? Say that, and I don't know this, but say that they are, they become wards of the state. They're safe. They're very safe. But Candace has no intention of looking or talking to Summer or, whatever. Did they clean up anything at their house? I don't know. I mean, it sounded like Dawn had been working on the house a little bit, but I mean, it's not enough. It's not enough. And I've kind of been under the assumption and belief that they were never going to get the kids back, the boys especially. If you listen to Detective Pruitt, he says that the cases do bleed into each other. The district attorney said that there are elements of crimes here. There are elements of crimes here, and he even alluded to, but, it can be difficult when you were dealing with, paraphrasing, people like Dawn and Candace. So, you think about it. If you think about it, it's not out of the possibility that they have been waiting all this time. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no clue. But I am, I won't say concerned, but I mean, I think that what's going to happen is that they will completely hit rock bottom because here's how it works. They have always kind of, since Summer went missing, had this illusion or this facade, or maybe they believed it, that they could possibly get their boys back. Okay. They're taking 2 weeks after they went missing? 2 weeks after they go missing, the boys are taken. And it is every time they kind of get questioned or so on and so forth, and they say, well, guys, you know, you got to stay strong for your boys, which is great advice. And it makes sense why somebody would say that. It makes sense why somebody would say that. I get it. I understand you have to have something that you want to, that you can hold on to. And whether they believed it or not, it was kind of sort of a driving sympathy. You know, they wanted people to believe. They want people to believe that there was a chance, that there is a chance that they could get their kids back, that they could get their boys back. And I am not somebody that thinks that this is a real public matter, like the details of what happened with the boys. I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of information will be shared or, you know, but, you know, it's really tricky with minors, i.e. the gag order. So if you ask me, he's in trouble for the gag order. And this kind of falls in right in the time, the year to two, where they will terminate parents' custodial rights. I don't know if they gave them a list. People say that they gave them a list. I don't know. But once that goes, once the facade of, you know, we're getting our kids back goes, and I don't know if facade may not even be the right word, but once that thought, that theory, that hope, that whatever that they had to grasp onto, once that goes, it's going to be bad. I feel. No, I don't think Don's going to call me on the toilet tonight. One of the craziest things that I have seen in this case is just the sheer fact of, I mean, after Summer goes missing, we 100% watched a family crumble in front of our eyes. And that is sad. It really is. I'm holding on to hope that there will be a good ending for the Summer Wells case. Yet all I can think of is that there will be more tragedy in the future. And, you know, I got a message the other day. It says, what are you going to do when something bad happens to Don or Candace? Like, aren't you going to feel responsible? Not really, but maybe some. I don't know. Look, the fact that people try to lay this at my feet and Chris McDonough's feet and anybody else that has ever held Don and Candace over the fire, conversational wise, or, you know, didn't kiss their butt, so on and so forth. Well, I don't know. It is just it's just going to end even worse. I agree. Look, I'm not saying I am not saying anything other than people tell me that all the time. I don't take any blame for what happened. And to be completely honest with you, like I know, I've really poked and prodded Dawn and Candace or whatever, but here's the thing. I got into this case very early on. I followed it religiously. And I can't find one single redeeming quality or action that tells me that Dawn and Candace had nothing to do with Summer going missing. And they're responsible for whatever happens tomorrow. Not on me, not on McDonough, not on Mary, not on Jeannie. None of them. None of that is my fault. None of that is anybody's fault. This mess was years in the making. When I say years in the making, I mean years in the making. And to hear stuff like this.
I haven't been to law enforcement in a month.
They have court tomorrow. I haven't been to law enforcement in months. Haven't been to law enforcement in months. It's not funny. Why is that? How is that funny? Can anybody tell me how that's funny? It's not funny, is it? It's not funny. And we all get what's coming to us in life one way or the other. These people operated in the hills of Tennessee on a dead end road, on a hill where they could live in the shadows and live however they wanted for years and years and years, and it caught up to them. And I think even they could admit that. I would hope that they could admit that. They have done this for years. None of this is new. And for people to think that their behavior is changing without professional help, without rehabilitation, without intense therapy, without any of that, it's just not gonna happen. You don't fix that behavior on your own. You can't. And for them to have lived the way that they have lived for all these years with nothing getting better. Nothing's getting better. Nothing's gotten better. It's actually probably gotten worse. And tomorrow is the day. I have no idea who people are saying paid their child support. I don't know if any of that's true or not. I don't know if any of that is true or not. Let's see. So here's Mary saying, this is the truth right here. This has been Donnie's behavior for the past 50 years. No, it's not going to fix him. It's just not. This is somebody that has known Don for a very long time, and he has terrorized poor Mary. He's admitted to it. I've never, no, absolutely not. I have never met Summer. I don't even know if I've ever really heard her talk. Maybe a little, in videos, not much, if at all. And the fact that we can feel a certain way about a child or children. Let's see. Yeah, I do not believe that somebody paid their child support, but I can't confirm that. I really just can't. A leopard can't change its spots, but a human can change their behavior. When you're talking about like bad humans or bad people, what you look for is a pattern, a history. Not, isolated incidents happen, but over and over and over. Obviously, that is where you can really see that there's either a Now, let me just tell you that phone call that I got yesterday where I had to mute out. And this is very interesting. This is very interesting. The phone call that I received yesterday where I thought I took off the air was, you heard the beginning of the conversation, but the conversation was this. The conversation was, when this all first went down, a day or two after it went down, there was a radio station that had played this 911 call. And this lady claims that she had heard this phone call. Okay. And that she had heard the 911 phone call before it was blocked and taken away. And she told me what she heard on the call. And I have contacted the radio station. They told me that they would give me a call back tomorrow, so on and so forth. And so I can't completely confirm that yet, but give me 1 second here. So that's not something that I can confirm. It's not bad. It's just not what was said. It's not what was told. It's just that basically, and I don't. There's a reason why they don't have. There's a reason why these 911 calls aren't out there, and it was just very vague, and a while ago, but it just contradicts if this is true. By the way, I haven't even confirmed that this is true yet. I just haven't. So I really do want to just kind of keep. There was just that they were outside and whatever, but there's a little bit more to it. Josh, will you be able to find out the results on court tomorrow? Probably. But I don't know. Not really sure. That'd be a question that Don B could answer. I'll tell you that right now. Hold on, give me a second. So I don't want to go into it too much. I just don't want to go into it too much just because I'm still really kind of tracking it down. But what the thing was, I did feel bad about, because I mean, we take public phone calls on here, but and the lady was absolutely right. It was Dawn on the phone call, according to. I haven't heard this. I'm taking this in. I'm taking this on second hand, and I don't want to get too involved, and I don't want to cut into the investigation or whatever. I just don't want to do that in any way, shape, or form. And I think that is probably... That's probably the best move. That's right. She says it's Dawn on the call. I don't have that much information about it, so I can't even go into that much detail about it. Because first of all, I need to contact the radio station, and somebody's supposed to call me back about it tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. I do not believe that this lady is lying or anything like that. But I do absolutely have to figure out if it's authentic and if that really did happen. Now, it's not uncommon for a radio station to get a hold of something like that. I believe she said that she heard it, but once again, I'm I'm going to talk. Yes, I will talk about it when I can. But like I said, I don't have those answers. What happened here? I don't have them. I don't know. Summer's case has given them an excuse to act the way that they always have. It provides a scapegoat for their emotional manipulation. Trevor Lee in the house. Sure is. I believe that there are 2 911 calls. Yes, I do believe that. Absolutely. Because Don has admitted that he called, and then so-and-so admitted that they called. So Don and Candace have both admitted that they called. Hold on one second. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just getting slid notes. It's all right. It's all right. Everybody. But yes, I do appreciate the caller's discretion and the way that it was handled. Mohawk Mom says, Don said Candace called on Grandma's phone, but Grandma's name is also Candace. Candy, Candace, Candy, Candace. There's a lot of... No, I'm not talking about a third call. And matter of fact, I just really got to move on from that because we'll just go in circles here. I'm just telling you that I didn't really feel right keeping you guys in the dark, taking public phone calls, but sometimes that happens. Like the Idaho 4 case, we want prosecution, not an arrest. I agree with that, Don B. Does anyone think one of the boys was involved and maybe they are covering it up with all this BS? It's hard to say. It's really, really hard to say. Yes, there are things coming forward and things that I want to just kind of run by the people that are involved and kind of give everybody a fair shake here. But I really don't want to get in the way of the investigation. I don't want to disclose things that I'm not supposed to disclose. I don't know where Summer is. I don't know what Don and Candace, what their involvement is. Let's just make that extremely clear and upfront right now. I don't know. I don't have any inside information there. I've heard speculation. I've heard very interesting things. Some happen to be true. Some happen to be fake. And you kind of got to, go through all of that. But I did feel bad for not addressing it. And that's really all that I can say. Wisconsin Mama says, is it possible that someone got up there without her making any noises? It is possible if that person knew them. That is possible. But not likely. Not likely. I've always said this, and you got to understand. The scenario that Candace paints is that somebody, let me just pause this right here, that somebody came up into this house or came up onto this hill. All right, let's see here. Let's do this. Okay, so this is the scenario that is, okay. So you got a dead end road, folks. Somebody came up in this house from the dog trail, which, by the way, the dogs actually hit on the driveway, not the dog trail. So that means nothing at all. And then from there, they would sneak up on this very wooded, slopey mess of terrain. And somehow, some way, avoid all the dogs, avoid 3 children in the house, 2 parents or 2 adults on that property, and somehow guess the exact door that she was in. And that if Candace said, and she says that it was locked, then that person would have to have a key. They'd have to have a key if it was locked. But they would have to be able to see through the walls to know exactly where Summer was, unless, and I say this, unless they had help from the inside. Maybe somebody else knew what was going on. Maybe somebody was tipped off. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of who could have, who did, who what. But the problem is, hold on a second. Here, let's see. Is that what you guys want to do? Just take some calls? We can do that. Hold on, we'll start this here in a second. Give me a second. Let me. All right, let me throw the number up on the screen there. That was fast. All right, hold on 1 second here. Hello?
Yes. This is John.
Yeah, do you need me to mute out?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so that was just a clarification. So there was it's a radio station and there is a TV station, but I don't have any information about the TV station. So I will look into that as well. But I may not be able to find anything. I just, if I can't find anything, I can't find anything, and that's just kind of how it is. Let's see. Let me throw the number up there. So the call-in number is 858-299-2504. That's the number to call if you want to call in and talk about this case. I like them. Jeez. Let's take a look. Yeah, you don't want to. You trust me. You wouldn't want to do that. And Kelly O gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Kelly O. I appreciate that, and your donations as well. It means a lot. Thank you so much, Kelly O in the house. Let's see. All right. So if you want to get in, get in. Lines are wide open right now. They might fill up here. I only got 5 queue spots. So let's see. I think the mattress was on its way to the trash, but I don't know. Not really sure. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just tracking a couple things. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. Hey. Hold on one second here. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. When there's evidence and it just comes up missing, it should be on the Wells phone, right?
So are you talking about when Don
Even if
said
they-
that his phone was erased? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the them and their GPS tracking? Is that what you're talking about? What happened? Did I lose you? What happened? Did I mute you? I don't think I did. Are you there? Maybe they'll call back. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. Why is it? What is going on here? Uh-oh. We're being toyed with, folks. I don't know. Caller, can you hear me? That caller can't hear me either. Wow, this is a rocking show.
Well,
Hey.
hello.
Hey, hello. How are you?
Hi.
I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Good. Now, what if Candace went and met Hunter, like down by the stop sign, because his phone was still in Granda's truck,
What would she be
and
meeting?
Summer was still in the truck,
What would she be meeting him for?
meeting him to give him his phone back. Meeting Hunter and Hunter's girlfriend and them to give Hunter back his phone. Well, Candace had Summer in the back of the truck already. Nobody would know if Summer was alive or not at that point. Candace would have been alone. Candace could have done whatever Candace wanted to do at that point.
Yeah.
Pinpointed it right there.
Well, that's kind of always been my theory, is that she's the one that holds all the answers, and that Dawn probably knows some of the answers, but not all of the answers.
Exactly. Now, nobody's remembering, and it's online, that Don says that it was his fault the boys were taken because he got drunk. And one thing leads to another when he's trying to find out from the boys what happened to Summer. So at that point, Don still, I don't think, knew what happened to Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Because Candace knows how to keep her mouth shut, just like Don does.
And she's pretty good at it, right? It's not something.
I mean, they're used to it.
Yeah, it's not something new. It's not some novel idea.
Yeah,
or anything
meth
like
heads
that.
are real good at lying. Worse than drunks, I would say.
I mean, I would agree with that. I definitely would agree with that. Now, as for Hunter being, the theory is that Hunter wasn't on the property. Who knows? Because there's, like I said,
I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I don't think he was. I think Candace, he don't drive. He don't have a car. I think Candace drove and met him, and Hunter went to his girlfriend's, remember?
Yep, I do.
And his girlfriend's mom. So so he had them meet together just to get his phone because it's his phone. Candace might not have realized something was wrong with Summer at that point either.
Yeah, no, that's very,
But
very
they were
true.
stressed out. Welfare was coming. Right. Because it's 85 degrees, humidity's high, Summer's double loaded in clothes. She slapped something on her belly. It's not blood, it's slopped orange pop. That probably had CBD in there or whatever that is that they make this mixed drink. that's known in Tennessee. Whether anybody likes it or not, it's a well-known mix in Tennessee. Like Vicodin or something like that mixed with orange pop. And it's got a name for it. There was a girl that was on a live on a different show last year that was telling that her sister was doing that. She had to kick her sister out a couple of times because she wouldn't quit leaving little cups of orange pop that she had pop in their pills or whatever it is she put in it. I'm sure it wasn't fentanyl. It's probably a pill. But there's just a lot that's right there. We've already heard it, but we're not looking at it because we got other people that are saying, oh, I feel sorry for Don and Candace. Oh, I would feel sorry for them because what if it was you? Bullshit. That's not right. You're overlooking everything that's right there. And people that I really care about that's online, just like I do you, when I hear them back those guys in little tiny remarks that they said on other channels, it really irritates me. So finally, I had to just quit. I'm not going to listen to it anymore because I already know how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
They're overstepping crap, and it's just BS.
Yeah, no, I completely understand.
Because you had my attention.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
your
hope
phone
everything
call.
works out with you. You're welcome. Bye, honey.
Well, you know, I mean, she's got a point. I completely understand. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Josh?
Yes.
Well, what I wanted to bring up was when Candace was on the panel just the other night, she brought up that phone call about the R word. I don't know if anybody caught it.
I did not. No.
Somebody
what did she
was
say?
talking. Well, she completely ignored it. And I know that she knows it's out there. What was said was somebody said that they liked Summer's outfit. And then Candace said, oh, yeah, that's the video where we were talking about it thundering. And I was explaining thunder to her. And then everybody thought that she was yelling for help. So
I listened to that.
That was her go to explain it.
So I had listened to that phone call before, and I believe that's the night of the Jose catastrophe, right? When Don threw the beer bottle at Jose.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You know, all you got to do is read the statement, the sworn statement signed by Candace to know exactly really what was going on. Now, as for the R word, I don't know. I didn't hear it that way.
I didn't either.
So, you know, it would be not good of me to speculate something like that because I didn't hear it that way. I'm not saying that it did or didn't happen. But what I know happened was in that sworn statement signed by Candace, that she absolutely said that she was in fear for her life and in fear for her children's lives.
Right.
And that he drinks and is mean to the children, so on and so forth. Of course she's not going to answer that because what was it? Just a few days later, Don said, you know, she just made it all up. She was going through a hard time. She took it all back. She dropped all the charges, which I'm surprised that they would even drop charges like that. Usually in a domestic violence situation, they don't always need somebody to press charges, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not familiar with the Tennessee laws, but I know that in many, many other states, when it comes to a domestic violence case, because one of the major problems with domestic violence is the manipulation and pullback of charges and allegations. So,
well, especially because he was arrested that night for the gun charge. So that was very surprising that they drop the charges.
Oh, it's more than, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's now doing 8 months or whatever he did for a DUI. It wasn't because of the DUI. It was because he was on probation. And that right there makes you go, like, if he has violated this gag order in the way that I believe that he has, let me see here.
Right.
That, I mean, that is a jailable offense. I mean,
well, does that go for both of them? Are they both under this?
yeah, whatever has to do with the
gag
children,
order?
whatever has to do with the children, yeah, whatever it is, they can't talk about it. But a judge can issue the gag order, and that's just nothing more than restricting the information that's been released publicly. And not only did Don do that, he went on a friggin' media tour about it. I mean, he went to WJHL. I'm surprised that they even let his ass on there talking that stuff. And people want to say,
I know.
Josh, you baited him. What did WJHL or WJHL do? I'm shocked. I've been shocked that he was even allowed to talk about it there. But nobody's going to stop Don from donning. You know what I'm saying? That's the new term, donning. We used to call him Omicron Don because he was a variant. Now he's just donning. You remember Charlie Sheen winning? Remember that? I'm winning.
Yes.
Now, well, Don's going to don all day. Dawn.
I heard somebody call Grandis the Halabala.
My favorite is
That's great.
and maybe this isn't fair because I don't know really what goes on with her, but somebody called her a bandus once, and I was like, wow, that's
Bandus.
rough. A bandus, yeah, because she took off.
Yeah.
Right after.
You know, I want Summer found, and I don't want this to go away until she's found. But I want the Wells to go away because I get on YouTube to get good information to catch up, but it's like, man, you got to listen to the BS first before you get to anything decent.
Well, I agree with you there. There is a lot of hoopla, and by the way, like I'm not immune to it. I mean, sometimes you do have to really dig through the weeds to get the information. And if I had an audience that, like, I've covered many other cases, even on this channel, and done, other things on this channel. If I didn't have an audience that was, I just told everybody I would see this through with them. You know what I mean? Because I don't really enjoy waking up in the morning and going, what are those dirtbags up to today? I mean, they don't affect my life in that way. I mean, don't call them dirtbags. Well, I mean, you tell me. You tell me. Did you hear the soundbite from earlier?
Yeah.
Been to law enforcement
nice.
months.
I haven't been to law enforcement in months.
Yeah. When was that said? When did she say that?
Today.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Today.
Wow.
That was said today. Listen again.
Been to law enforcement months.
Hilarious, right? Good stuff.
And then that's him chuckling in the background.
That's him chuckling right there. I was on the phone with him, and
Shame. Everyone's going to know your name. He's got a fan club, Josh.
I know, it's beautiful, right?
And he knows it.
I know. So did Charles Manson.
Fan club.
So did Charles Manson. So, I guess Brian Koberger has one too. I mean, I don't know why he has a fan club. Apparently, from what I understand, most
why?
women don't.
He's
like being
suave. He's suave. He's two-faced. He's one way here and one way another there. And some people just don't see the other side, or they choose not to.
I mean,
or they're pretending.
does he seem suave to you?
No, not to me.
Yeah, because
No.
you're intelligent, right? I mean, I understand that.
But I mean, that's what I've seen. That's what I've, seen wrote. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
what I'm going with.
He was
That's
super
what it
suave
is.
when he was sitting on the toilet the other night with his camera faced up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
saw? Did you see that?
She did the same thing. I've seen it.
Who did
I've
that?
seen her do it
Candace?
too. Yes.
When?
She. Do you want me to say where it was?
Sure.
On the farm. She was sitting at the table.
Dude, it goes down on the farm.
She
doesn't it?
got up. Sure does. Went to the bathroom, and it's the bathroom because it's the same room as Dawn was in.
Yeah.
But I could tell what she was doing. She didn't show anything. She sat down. She had phone in one hand and cigarette in another, and then got right back up. So the nasty grandma didn't wipe. She didn't wash her hands. Then she sat right back down at the table, cried a little bit, grabbed a big old orange towel, blew her nose, and then threw it across the room.
Oh, God. I didn't see that, and I'm so glad that I didn't. I just
I think
don't
that was about 2 nights ago.
because he was asking for a link.
It's
the other night.
entertaining.
He was asking for a link the other night, and I was like, "There's not a chance that I'm letting you come up on this with a camera. You can call the show, but you cannot. I cannot put you on camera because I can't guarantee that you're not going to go peeps and poops while you're on here. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
I wouldn't give him the pleasure, Josh.
What?
There's nothing he hasn't said or he's going to say that's worth it.
I agree. Look, I agree. Now, but the reason that him and I had the conversation today was I've been interviewing people for this podcast, people that know him and, have dealt with them and so on and so forth. Not just him, but Candace too. And I just wanted to ask him about, the allegations that people are, that have said, and because I don't necessarily think it's fair without somebody being able to rebut saying, well, that's not true or so on and so forth. And I think he was like, okay, well, but Candace got really frustrated. You could hear her in the background. She doesn't like me. She shouldn't like me. There's no reason to like me. Dawn, he wasn't drunk and the conversation lasted about 3 minutes. He knew what I was calling for. And well, actually, so he actually called me this morning and I called him, this afternoon and we had that conversation, but it was very short and very, he didn't really want to answer any of the questions. I mean, he did a couple, but nothing pertinent, nothing,
Nothing new.
No, nothing, not even nothing new. Just, he just denies these allegations. He didn't
That's what I
actually
would
cuss
like
at
to
me
see.
or
I would
anything
like
either.
to see. I would like to see someone that doesn't matter if they're together. I'd like to see them together, or at least Candace. I want to see her interviewed again.
Oh, they don't do interviews.
Big
together.
little list of questions.
They don't do interviews
Let's
together.
start from the beginning.
There's no way. I mean, when was the last interview they did together?
One I seen was outside their house. I don't know when that was.
That was 3
That
weeks.
was in the beginning.
That was 3 weeks after Summer went missing.
Yeah. People, they ask these questions. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Someone took Summer. But if you haven't been paying attention, these people have told the story. The neighbors have told the story. If you know the human behavior, I don't know, maybe just people Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just think I know everything.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not just you. I mean,
These people know. They know where she is. They know what happened. Whether they did it or not, they know what happened.
Have you ever heard my original interview with Dawn? From way back in the day.
Because I can't think of it.
I mean,
no, but I'll look for it.
It goes, well, I'm going to play it here in just a minute.
Okay.
Maybe,
I'll watch it.
But yeah, I appreciate your phone call. Maybe we'll know some more tomorrow. Maybe we won't. But yeah, listen to this interview with Dawn, and it is, it's kind of, you know, it's a little up and down. But I'm gonna play it here.
Okay. Enjoy talking to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Later.
All right, let's see here. Hopefully I don't strike myself. I don't know. I'm not really sure if you guys remember this or not. Let me see here. Brent Montgomery, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brent, a lot. I'm sure some of you remember this and some of you don't, but let's just take a listen because not a lot has changed, but you can see that, you know, this is the first time I ever even spoke to this guy. Hi, Don. My name's Josh. It's nice to talk to you. I've never talked to you before, but I've been following this case.
You too, buddy.
Now, I won't lie to you. I've been critical of you.
Right.
And
Okay.
suspicious of the entire situation.
Well, most people have, brother.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it is what it is. Now, my question, you know, that I've always wanted to ask you is, do you understand why people think that you guys aren't being fully transparent? I mean, does that make sense to you in the public?
Well, yeah.
Because when I ask that question, it just seems as though it almost seems just impossible that nobody knows anything more than she was just taken.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I've heard that from so many people, and I get it. I really do. It just seems, it does. It seems that way. And the only difference is, I mean, I know my wife, I know where I was. And we definitely know for a fact she was abducted because she's not here. I know that.
Yes, he sort of does blame me kind of in a roundabout way.
And my wife knows that, but to prove that to y'all, that's a whole nother ball game. You know.
When was the last time that you spoke to law enforcement?
I haven't been to law enforcement in a month.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I just played that.
It's probably been a couple weeks ago, you know, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about them. I mean, they have their job to do. I've blown up on them a few times. I get frustrated. I get mad. I say stuff I don't mean. I'm so upset. I say bad stuff. I cuss. I don't mean to, but at least I'm being real. I'm telling you how my feelings. I mean, you know, yeah, I freaked out a few times, and I've say stuff about law enforcement because I'm upset, you know, but I don't know what they're doing exactly, you know. No, I'm listening to you.
No, I was just going to ask another question, but I want you to finish your answer. I do.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure how to answer that. What was the question again? Sorry.
Well, let me, because I don't have a lot. I don't want to take up too much of Ziggy's time, but I do want to ask.
You're fine.
Well,
You're
no,
fine.
Are you related to Ronnie Lawson? Is he your cousin?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean,
Have you heard that
like I was
rumor?
saying earlier, my dad, I have heard that. As far as I know, I'm not related to him.
So you have no
But
relationship.
my dad run away. No. No.
And also, you know, a couple weeks ago, you did an interview that, you know, with one of the local stations around there. And Ronnie Lawson also chimed in, and he did refute almost everything that you claimed. How do you feel about that? I don't know if you saw that.
Well,
He said there were no
nothing
other
I can do about that. Yeah, there ain't
he
nothing
said
I
there was
can
no
do
other
about
missing
that.
children. He said the scream was unfounded. He said that the dogs did find the trail, and that.
Yeah.
So I'm just
right.
wondering, what is your response to that? I mean, he's saying, you know, everything,
Well,
each key point. He's saying people aren't missing there.
Yeah.
Nobody else is missing.
Yeah,
What do you say?
not from this area. That's true. That's true. There hasn't been any other kids come up missing from this area, you know, and that bothers me. But I know that there are a lot of missing kids from Eastern Tennessee in this area, not in particular Beach Creek area. But I do know what happens on our street, and I do know what kind of stuff happens. Ronnie Lawson doesn't live on our street. He don't know what happens here around here on a day-to-day basis. I do. I mean, we live here. We see what goes on down the road. And
well, Ronnie Lawson's been the
traffic
sheriff
that's in
there
and
a
out of
really
here.
long time. Really long time.
He's what?
And he's been the sheriff there for quite some time. Ronnie?
I misunderstood you, buddy.
I said Ronnie Lawson, the
Ronnie
sheriff,
Lawson.
has been the sheriff there for a really long time.
No,
And-
he really hasn't. When he come into power, when he first come into power here, he busted a lot of drug stuff around here. He shut a lot of stuff down when he first come into power. I remember I was here. But since he's been in power, I mean, I don't know what all they've done, but I mean, I try not to get involved with what's going on around here. I just try to stay out of the drug scene and everything. But I'll say this. The last 7 people I've hired in a row, I've fired for being on dope. If that tells you any damn thing.
Well,
okay, I don't have nobody working with me currently because I can't find nobody that doesn't do dope. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have that kind of crap on my job, or you can't use somebody like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the cop calling the kid
So I'm
black. You guys use drugs. You ain't gonna hire somebody that's doing drugs, but you do them yourself.
I don't
That's
use
kinda
drugs.
right,
Hey,
Mike.
all right, so let me just say that I was actually on a panel with Prairie Gardens at the time. She busted in. Whatever. I asked her to stop. She did. Wait. Prairie Garden. No, I'll let you get back to it. Let me just streamline this really fast because I'll let you guys have a history and I don't, and I want to just get out of the way. But I do have a couple. Just let me.
You gonna hire somebody?
You can't use somebody like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the cop calling the kid
So I'm
black. You guys use drugs. You ain't gonna hire somebody that's doing drugs, but you do them yourself.
I don't
That's
use
kinda
drugs.
right, Mike.
Wait. Prairie Garden. No, I'll let you get back to it. Let me just streamline this really fast because I'll let you guys have a history and I don't, and I want to just get out of the way. But I do have a couple more questions. So
okay. Where are you from, brother?
I'm from California.
Where are you from? Are you from?
So here's where it starts to get just a tad sideways, just a little more questions. So
okay. Where are you from, brother?
I'm from California.
Where are you from? Are you from? Okay, you live in California, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Certainly.
All right.
And
you don't live here in Tennessee. Okay.
But we have drugs here too. That's not.
Well, I
just
know. I just
Tennessee
left
thing.
LA. I just left LA. I know all about it. I seen it all. I couldn't wait to get that hell out of there.
It's not just an Eastern Tennessee thing. It's a United States thing. And I mean, I would venture myself to be somewhat cultured and do understand certain areas. And I'm not saying that you don't have a drug problem, but the fact is that Ronnie Lawson did say that you have little to no traffic going up your road. What do you say to that?
He don't live on my road.
I
He don't
understand
live
that.
on our road, brother.
Well, I
He does
understand
not
that,
live
Don,
on my damn road. He lives
he
in
wouldn't have,
town in some nice house somewhere. Okay, he don't live on my
but he
road.
wouldn't have an idea of it. He just has
I
no
know
clue.
my road. I know my road better than Ronnie Lawson does. I'll tell you like that. I'm
I
not
would agree
trying to
with
be
that.
against him or whatever. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one
so
that
that's
took the
just not
pictures
true.
of that red truck. I'm not trying to go against the man, but I will say I live on my road. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying to be against law enforcement or anything else. I'm not trying to dispute what they say or anything else. But I'm not naive either.
And so what you're basically saying is that, you know, there is a lot of traffic on your road.
There was, there ain't now.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I work every day, but as far as I know, the traffic isn't as bad as it was because every chance I get, when I'm on the news or anything else, that's what I talk about, and it's slowed down a lot. As far as I know, I don't know for sure. But hell yeah, I'm trying to slow it down. I'm trying to stop it. I'll do anything I can. I hate that stuff. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want my kids to be around it. It's wrong.
Sure.
You know.
Do you think that they're gonna, in your opinion, railroad you for this? Do you think that that's what's gonna happen?
You can't do that with no evidence. That's impossible, bro. How can you do that? You
Well, I
gotta
don't
have
know.
evidence.
I don't know what evidence they have. I don't know.
They don't
I would
have no evidence, and there's no way they could ever have evidence because it's impossible.
Yeah.
That
Well,
don't make no sense.
Well, proof of life is evidence, and there's nothing suggesting that she's actually alive, is there?
Well, no, we don't have no evidence of anything. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I wish we did. If we knew what happened to her, we'd be all over.
And I have said this. I don't know what happened, and I don't know if you did anything. I don't know if Candace did anything. I know that Summer.
I don't know if you've
gone.
done anything.
Well, see that
I don't
that's
know if you come down here and know something.
Yeah, right. Well, that's kind of a sidestep, right? Because, I mean,
come on.
Wouldn't you be the suspect and not me? I mean, I live in California.
I don't
your
know
kid's
where
the one
you've
that went
been.
missing, not mine, Don.
It sounds like you're kind of being a little a little bit out there, dude.
No, I'm just
yeah,
asking.
my kid's missing, but
I'm just asking.
I don't know what the hell you're trying to ask, dude.
I'm trying to ask you if you know if more happened than what you've told.
If I knew what happened to my daughter, I would be all over it, and she would be home. If I knew anything, she would be here with me. I love my daughter with all my heart. I mean, I know everybody, I don't know why everybody tries to implicate or say that I've done this or I've done that. I don't understand why that has happened so bad. I don't get it. I don't understand that. Yeah, I do have a criminal past. And I'm not going to lie to you, but when I got my kids, I fell in love with my kids. I understand that kind of stuff. Why do you think we was in church? Why do you think I took my kids to church? Do you think I'd waste my time to go get in church if I was still a criminal? No, I want them to be non-criminal. Why do you think that? That's why I drugged them there. You know?
Well, you know, look, I'm not trying to upset you. I'm just asking questions. You know,
I understand.
You're free to answer
and
them or not.
I'm trying to answer to the best of my ability.
I understand that. And I appreciate you answering my questions, but you don't have to. And I get that. And I appreciate it. I really do.
I appreciate you. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to get upset. I get it. I understand why people think the way they think. And I do understand the criminal element. And that's why I try so hard. We sit here at night, you know, God says he wants us all to read scripture morning and night. That's because God understands our human brain. We go out in left field right away. If we ain't in them scriptures morning and night, we're gone quickly. We forget real fast. God understands that. That's why he said morning and night. And that's what I try to do with my kids. Every morning before they even went to school, sometimes I'd do my best to try to at least read one chapter or something. I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough. We've been reading The Great Controversy. We got through to chapter 4, I think, or something, and try to read with them every day because I want them to understand what's coming. This world's getting evil fast. You know, the United States was built on Christian principles. That's why God blessed this country for 200 years. Well, Christianity's going away fast. The mob rules, or the majority rules. Well, the majority now is not Christianity. Proof of that is, you know, they got Biden in there. They got rid of Trump. I mean, that's proof right there of what we're facing.
Yeah,
you know,
look, Don,
our country's in big trouble.
I am sympathetic to your situation, and if you had nothing to do with it,
thank you.
My apologies to you if I offended you.
No, you're good. You're good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, before that though, one last question.
Okay, buddy.
I when I sit there and, you know, hear leaked phone calls, and I'm not for people recording people secretly, and that seems to have happened a lot here.
Right.
But I have heard you talk very derogatory about certain women in your life, and I'm not going to bring those people up. But
yeah, that's fine.
That really, to me, that really undercuts the Christian aspect of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I get that.
Yeah. And so what do you say to that? Is it a temper thing? You just feel pushed to the wall? I get that. Well,
you know, you can push almost anybody to the point. I mean, yeah, I'm not perfect. Yeah, I might blow. I'm trying, but yeah, I have points where I lose it and I get mad, and that's what I know best is my cuss words. I'm sorry.
I understand.
You know, I'm far from perfect. I've said some things, you know, you know, a man would be so much better off if he never even knowed a woman, period, in his lifetime. That's all I can say for that. That's the biggest downfall of any man, is to, you know, not trying to say anything bad about no women, because there's some good women out there, but that's a big downfall for a man, is a woman. I'm not trying to be mean to women. There's a lot of good women out there. Not trying to be mean.
No.
But there's what's up? That's kind of a trick question. I'm sorry. I need to back off that.
I don't even remember what the question. When he says that was kind of a trick question, I really, like, by the end of that answer, I didn't even know what the question was. I don't know how it was a trick question.
No.
All right. Hey, Don, thanks for answering my questions. I appreciate it. And you know what? I hope you prove people wrong. I hope that, you know, I hope Summer's found, and I hope she's found alive. Now, like I said,
brother, I'm hoping we can all pull together, you know, for the sake of all these children. I mean, and all the evil stuff in this world. There's so much evil. There's so many. We live in an evil world. I mean, all the fallen angels that were kicked out of heaven are here on this earth trying to mess with us all every day, constantly. Just, you know, we all have our demons, every one of us.
Don, I wrote a letter to Summer, that circulated around the internet. And I don't know if you ever heard it or not. But you know, I come from a really rough place as well. That's why I kind of got into this thing. And,
right.
I don't know what happened to Summer. but I know whatever happened to her wasn't fair. And I pray to God that you and Candace had nothing to do with it. But until you understand, until she's found alive and safe, there,
Right.
the finger will always be pointed at you. You understand that, right?
Right. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Until there is somebody else, until there's somebody else on the radar, until there's, evidence of something else, even you say that she's been abducted. TBI says they see no evidence of that. That is
TBI. Okay, TBI and law enforcement are allowed to lie. They might throw you off one way or whatever. You don't know exactly what they're really thinking. You just don't.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even call them anymore, because I don't know if they're telling me, what they're trying to really tell me.
Been to law enforcement months.
Because they're allowed to lie all they want to. That's part
it's
of
an
law
interrogation. It's an interrogation tactic, because usually the people that they're dealing with aren't always forthcoming, and you have to break people apart and get their stories. That's why they separate everybody. That.
I have some serious theories, and I can't even talk about them because that might throw off TBI's investigation. And they might be looking into exactly what I'm thinking, but I can't say nothing about it because that'll screw everything up. And I've made that mistake in the past so many times about what I'm really thinking. And I've tried to tell that to TBI, and they're like, oh, no. But they really could be thinking about on the same page I am. I don't know. It's just a game. It's a serious game with someone's life at stake. So I can't even talk about my theories or anything else any longer.
Yeah, one that you and Candace are playing. That's the game right there.
I'll let you guys go get back to it. Don, thank you for answering my questions. I hopped out of there like a bat out of hell. I tell you that. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll have some more information. 7:00 tomorrow. Please be back. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate all you guys. You really make this channel special, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has.
is not, really? It is to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, it's real tough.
But I had to put her on the side and where with the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not, really? It is to me. But I had to put her on the side and where with the boys. But I had to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her. But I had to put her on the side and where with the boys.